What's up, you Eurovision fools? It's Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. Welcome back to yet another episode of Mattitude, the ESC United live stream, where we talk about, you guessed it right, Eurovision. And it's another very special episode. I know they're all special, we always say that, but it is true. It is special because we are here, episode 4 of the ESC United jury, where we all rank the 39 songs that are taking part this year, share our scores, and of course the team score, and then of course answer your question. And I always bring my team with me, and today I'm here with Melanie. Are you ready for Rotterdam?
Always ready for Rotterdam.
Yes, and in case you know, I think I can make it official. I think I've said it before, but Melanie will join me live on site in Ahoy, Rotterdam, or at Ahoy, Rotterdam, in Rotterdam. It's difficult to say, but that was actually my point. And then, of course, right here from my side of the pond is Connor. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I waited 6 months to wear this Eurovision 2020 shirt for something Eurovision related, so I am excited.
You didn't get a
nice.
one yet? I know, it looks nice.
I didn't want to wait another 6 months to get a new one.
Oh, that is weird. And of course, we have Tyler. Tyler joining us here on the live stream for the first time. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm waking up here in Alaska. So it's a beautiful day, and I can't wait to talk about the songs with you all.
Yes, and I said already earlier, apologies for Melanie. She's kind of outnumbered here. 3 Americans. It was not planned, but I'm sure she can hold her own. I'm not too worried about it. And
I hope so.
I hope so. If not, just let us know. So, we need to kind of get through this. We have 9 songs to talk about, and then the full results, because I know there is a show coming up, the Spain pre-party, and so hopefully we can wrap this up before that. So we're going to go for this. First of all, let me give you, everyone who wasn't here yesterday, we already have reviewed 30 songs. I'll give you the scoreboard right now. Let me bring it up. And yes, 4 songs are highlighted. There's no specific reason why. Well, there is a specific reason. Those were the last 4 songs we reviewed yesterday. But as you can see, Malta, France, San Marino are currently the top 3. The bottom, Portugal, North Macedonia, and Spain. Tyler, my first question to you. What are your first thoughts when you saw this list? You okay? You're like, what is wrong with you people?
No, it's sort of like what I've expected. With the exception of Ireland being very high. I mean, I like Ireland's song this year, but I've sort of seen that people are saying that like Ireland might not do very well. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see it in the top 10.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a prediction video. I've recorded the first one. I just gotta do a lot of editing. It'll be up soon, y'all. So watch out for that. Connor, what do you think so far?
I mean, I think that there's some interesting things in here. I mean, San Marino being above Lithuania is a bit of a shock. I think if we looked at San Marino in the past, I think Greece's return up here in the top 10 right now is pretty interesting. My personal top 10 has North Macedonia in it, so seeing it so low down there hurts my heart just a little.
You tried.
But no, I know, I tried to pull it up, but overall, there's nothing I think that's shocking in here. I think Malta and France being the top 2 really goes in line with the bookies right now, and I think that we may have our other top bookie favorite that we talk about today that might slide in there.
We'll see. Maybe not. That is the exciting part. Melanie, your thoughts? You kind of okay with it?
Yeah, the same. Like, I didn't expect Ireland so high. It's.
Let me bring it up again because I kind of don't want you.
Yes, yeah. I didn't expect Ireland so high. It was really a surprise for me. Also, San Marino, top 3. Didn't expect that. I expected it to be more top 10, but not like above the 8th spot. So that was quite a surprise for me. Also, Croatia, I didn't expect that also, that it will be above the 7. Okay. So that's also a big surprise for me. But overall, I think it's what I expected it for our team to rank it. So not a lot of big surprises, but those prizes I just mentioned. So.
All right. Well, that makes sense. So, we're gonna go through the next songs, and let's get started in 2 seconds. Again, we will go through them one by one, share our scores, and then the team score. And the first up tonight is Serbia. And Hurricane is back. The trio went from Hasta la Vista, their last year's entry, to Loco Loco, their 2021 effort. The Serbian broadcaster gave the band a chance to take the Eurovision stage with a song, and they said, hey, let's stick to a Spanish song title, but sing in Serbian anyway. Serbia, as a standalone country, not as Serbia Montenegro, they joined in 2007. Won that year, actually. I mean, what an entrance to the contest. Molitva, still a classic, but their last top 10 was actually 6 years ago when Bojana Staminov squeezed into the top 10, barely, with Beauty Never Lies. Serbia will take part in the second semifinal, position number 9. So now you know who is in the running. I think we should talk about what we think about it. To give you all a little bit more time to think about it, let me go first on this one. And listening to Serbia, it feels to me like this is what I want from Serbia. It's to me, and Serbian, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I think of it, I hear that song, like, oh, this is so typical Slavic pop. Like, you wouldn't hear that like someone here in the US or UK put forward. And I mean that as a good thing. It's a very unique sound that I will say it's a little noisy. Sure. Is it a bit messy? Yeah. Is it a bit trashy? Perhaps, but I'm enjoying it, actually. All of these things that I pointed out that sound negative are positive for me. I appreciate that they stay true to their sound. And I prefer Hasta la Vista. Oh, I'm sorry. I prefer Loco Loco over Hasta la Vista. It's a lot more jointed and it has just a better flow in my view. While Hasta la Vista, after like 2 listens, got a little shouty and I got cranky when I listened to it. So it's not a sound that I hear in the charts, at least on my part of the world. So for that, maybe I have an extra appreciation for it. But I really like the song. I can't say anything else, but I like it. How about you, Connor?
So I'm kind of on the flip side. I actually kind of enjoyed Hasta la Vista a little bit more. And I think the reason why is because these girls are vocal powerhouses. Like, they are a very, not necessarily a unique thing for Eurovision, but for Serbia, sending such a talented group of women, I don't think that they needed this super loud track that Loco Loco has. Like, it for me, it just kind of drowns them a little bit. It like covers them up in places where their vocals are actually supposed to be shining. And so I think when I listened to the acoustic version of this song that came out like this week, I was like, I love this song. Like, this is so different. And so I think that that's kind of like where I'm at, where I'm with you in that I really appreciate that that this is different, that this is Slavic pop in this very characteristic of Slavic pop. But I just wish they would have turned down the track just like a tiny bit. It's that's definitely Eurovision, but I don't really know about this one.
Okay, that is fair. And coming from Connor, who's usually I call the cheerleader, I'm like, okay, of the team, but it could be worse, right? How about you, Melanie?
Now I'm on the same page as Connor, sadly. Hurricane is serving us again a really sassy, club-friendly banger. I can see myself dancing on it, but it's less impactful if I compare it with Hasta la Vista. Like, the energy in the whole song is just the same for me. Like, they try to give it some momentum with the dance break and with the high note at the end from Sonja, I think. But when it just feels kind of lackluster. It's just not feeling it. And after the notes, they just go back with the some, and the some, and the lam, bum. But it's just the same energy the whole song. And I just need something more. Like, Hustle If Vista had more impact. But as we know, the girls, Hurricane, they will bring it with a lot of confidence on stage, with a lot of sassiness, and with an amazing dance. I will see this still do well in Rotterdam. I just think that the studio cut isn't doing their justice. And I just hope that when they will perform it on stage and bring the party alive, it will be better.
All right. Let's see, Tyler. You agree with them, or where you at? Where's your head at?
I agree with them in various ways. I think I'm trying very hard to not always just like compare like the 2020 songs with the current songs, but like there's certain qualities that Hasta La Vista has that Loco Loco doesn't have, but then like that like I feel like last year's song had more maybe polish, I guess, than in comparison to Loco Loco this year. But I still have to say I find Loco Loco a lot catchier um, to me. Like when the chorus like came in with some, I'm just like, yeah, I like this. I really I like their confidence with their whole just uh come on boys, like let's go, like they're in the club. I think it's just a really fun song that I find myself just like bopping my head whenever I get to hear it, and it's sort of exactly what I sort of expected from Hurricane, in a way. And I don't know, I just really appreciate it. I really like it a lot.
That's good. So yeah, I guess very interesting thoughts, and we got to jump right into the points. What did we give it, and then what did Team United give it overall? Since I started, let me go first as well. I praised Serbia. I will also say it is not like at the top of my ranking, and it is not a perfect song. And it's just a kind of song like I try not to overthink it, and I don't look at the flaws too much because when I just listen to it, I'm having fun, and that counts for something. So 7 points from me for Serbia. Connor.
So when I was thinking about these scores, specifically with Serbia, I was like, I guarantee you that my score for the studio is actually going to be different from the live cut. Kind of similar to what Melanie had said. This studio cut, I just doesn't do this song justice. And so with the studio in mind, I gave it a 6. I think that this is one of those ones that's going to have to grow on me, but it comes like dead center in my list right now, just because I don't know if this is going to be that chaotic energy that the studio cut has, if they're going to refine it for the stage, if they're going to have something that's really, in tune with this energy
Right.
for the live staging. So it's kind of my wild card in a casual 6 spot.
All right, that's not too bad. Melanie, what did you give it?
Yeah, as I said, it's a very club-friendly banger. I see myself dancing on it, but I just missing something special on it that it really makes it an amazing masterpiece. So I give it also a 6.
Okay, so far I'm like the nice guy here. Let's see if that's continued. Tyler, what did you give it?
Um,
You gonna
yeah,
snap my crown?
I'm
Snatch
I'm
my
really
crown?
excited for what the performance is going to bring us. I think it might elevate the song in general. But I didn't give my score based on like the potential for the performance or anything like that. But I was very generous and I gave it a 8.5.
Oh wow! So yeah, there goes my crown. Here you go. That is cool. So let's see if the rest of Team United kind of falls in between or not. So as pointed out, there are a bunch of people that voted, not just the 4 of us. So I'm going to give the team score, and Serbia's score overall 5.91. So not technically, obviously, every single one of us put it a little higher. Melanie, are you surprised about that, or you thought
Yeah, a
it would
little
be?
bit. I thought that will be knowing our team that there will be a lot of people liking actually this song. So I was like, I will be one of the more lower people, but hearing it that I'm actually one of the higher people surprised me. Like, who doesn't like the song then? Who
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I know that's a little bit more polarizing, the entry. I still thought that there was enough Eurovision friendly sound that would do better. I thought at least at a bare minimum that it would crack the 6 mark, but clearly that did not happen. So yeah, Team United is not quite as crazy about, then did not go loco loco. I had to go with that metaphor. I know I had to. It's the law. But yeah, so that is a bit surprising to me. I know, Tyler, Connor, any other thoughts?
Um, it's sort of what I expected. Like from what I've seen, like the fan reception hasn't necessarily been as like warm to the song as I have. That's fine. I'll be the one that like just streams Loco Loco all the time. That's fine.
It's going to be yours. No competition. That's also not a bad thing. So 5.91 for Serbia, and I'm going to show the scoreboard in just a little while because we got a few more songs to go through, and the next up on our list is Israel. And yes, Alene, she was announced shortly after the cancellation of the Song Contest 2020 as the act for Rotterdam, for this year. Just like the previous year, a national final was staged where the public and juries could pick the song for Eden. Last year, they went with Fika Lebi. This year, it's Set Me Free. The song went through a couple of revamps. There was initially a demo, then she performed the song, and then they fixed that. And it's now ready for our listening pleasure. Israel, a powerful country at the contest, leaving a mark ever since they joined the fun in 1973. 4 wins already, 1978, 79, 98, and then fairly recently in 2018. I'm sure I don't have to remind you of Toy, you stupid boy. Now, Israel was drawn into the first semi and will be the 12th song of the night. Now, let's go for this one. I know we all gave our score after the revamp came out, so that is considered here. And I'm going to go with you, Connor. What do you think?
Ooh, put me on the spot. So I felt really, really bad that when the first version was officially selected, it hung out in my last spot for most of the season. And I think the biggest reason was just that song was written with her in mind, but was not crafted with her vocal techniques, her style, her sass. And so I'm so thankful that when we got the revamp, they didn't just refine it, they changed the whole song. They added new elements, they added the whistle tones. Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande are found quaking in the States. There is so much more character to this song now, which is what I love about her as an artist. And so I'm excited because obviously when you do a revamp, you have a staging in mind for what's going to happen with that revamp. And so I think that Israel has a very unique point of view for what they're hoping to achieve with this song. And I know that she can pull this off. I mean, she's been practicing her whistle tones out there in Israel. We've seen her do a live national final last year. So I don't have any concerns about her ability to pull this off. I'm just really excited to see how this is going to change the game for Israel and potentially their overall chances of qualifying now that we have this much more modern styled song.
Okay, that's a very interesting observation. Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah, keeping in mind the revamp, I sort of found myself I would notice the changes they would make, especially when they changed the chorus from to I'm a. It's well, it's not that much. That's not that much of a difference in my mind. But I think the whistle tone at the end, that's sort of going to be the really big thing. It's oh, is she going to be able to hit it live? Can she hit it live? And I think if she does that, that can really make the song a lot more impactful and make people like it a lot more. That being said, if I sort of take away the prospect of a whistle tone, I just find the song still pretty mediocre in my mind. I wish Eden had a much better song than what she was given this year. And yeah, I just wish she had a better song and be able to show off more of her range, just in general, other than the whistle tone at the very end of the song instead of everything preceding it. So,
no, that is fair. I hear you, Melanie.
Yeah, I can echo the same thing what Tyler and Connor just said. Just keep in mind, Fekele B was one of my favorites of last year. So I remember watching the national final of Israel and how disappointed I was that Set Me Free won the contest. Eden is an amazing performer and singer, and she definitely deserved a better song that showed her potential more than this song. With Revamp, I have the feeling that they tried to make it more like a song for her, with the ama yeah and the whistle note, but it still feels kind of overproduced. It's too polished for my taste, and it's just not Eden. It just doesn't show the full potential that Eden has. And it really makes me sad because she was so amazing last year with Fekele B. But I know Eden is a performer, and I know she's going to sell this on the Eurovision stage. But she just deserved a masterpiece and not the middle of the road song. So, Eden, sorry, but
Don't apologize. That is
yeah.
understandable. We all have. And here's the thing to me when I listen to the song, I feel though that the revamp saved a lot of it because it wasn't my least favorite one. It wasn't quite as bad as with Connor, but it certainly was kind of a lackluster ranking for me because the song is just kind of there. And I do find the revamp really elevated the song. I feel as some of the Israeli sounds that are a little bit more prominent here. It's a lot more modern. It has just a little bit more of an and yes, she has the moments where her voice shines a little bit more, and I think that could definitely work with the juries. And it's just a little bit more variation in the song because it was kind of just going on the song and never really captivated me or captured me. Now it has moments where I'm just like, okay, I like this. Now I'm getting into it, and I love her voice. I agree. It will not affect my personal score, but I of course love Fika Lebi. So this is certainly not quite as on par with it. Melodically, it's not the most innovative song either, and that is the best thing. So I think they fixed the song that was slightly underwhelming. They did the best they could and really came together and put something forward. But I am still fairly optimistic that Israel can do really well because I just know her voice is good, and most people who have never ever heard the other songs, right, or the other versions, so they will not have to compare it with. They never heard Fika Libi. So, and there's something about the Israeli sound that people often gravitate to at Eurovision, and I think they're going to do much better than a lot of people anticipate. Is it my number one? No, but have they gone up in my personal likability ranking? Absolutely. I think it is a job well done for the most part. So those are our 4 thoughts, and now it's time to do our scores. And Connor, what did you give Israel?
So as I had mentioned, this has pulled up. It went from bottom to middle of the pack for me with the revamp. I see a lot stronger of a chance for qualification with this revamp now. And for me personally, it also has a lot more replay or replayability, I guess is what I'll call it, because I'm finding myself listening to this more and more. And so I gave it a 7. Not my highest score that I'll give out today, but also not the lowest that I've given out. Pretty good, not the best, but I do see, like I said, a chance for this to squeak by, get into the grand final, and potentially, wreak havoc on the stage.
I like that. Tyler, what did you give it?
As a sort of disclaimer, I sort of gave this score like a couple weeks ago, and since then, I've sort of like had the song replay a lot in my head. The song is a bit of an earworm, so that if I was to rank it now, I might give it a little bit of a higher score, but given my own thoughts of just like of not taking into account like Eden's talent, I think she's amazing. The song itself, I find not that special in my mind, so I gave this a 4.
Oh, a 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Less than ideal, but that is okay. I've gave lower scores before as well. Melanie, what did you give it?
Yeah, like I said, best thing about the song is Eden Alene, and because of that, like she made the song, she will bring it. Of course, she will show it, she will sell it on the stage, but she just deserved a better song, and that's why I still give it a 6.
Okay, 6 points. It's not too bad. And people in the chat, if you have any comments for us or questions about the song at ESC United, make sure you tag us so that we can see it. Otherwise, we will not see it at ESC United. And yeah, I'm kind of in the boat with Connor, even though it was probably in my lower mid half kind of thing. Now it's climbing up a little. I just enjoy the song, and I do like a lot about it. It was never meant to be in my personal top 10 probably, but that is okay. I still enjoy it when it's on, and I expect great things on stage. I also gave it 7 points. So with that in mind, let's take a look and see where Israel end up, if we are representative of Team United or if we're once again, just like with Serbia, not quite there. But Israel's average score, meaning the team score, is 6.13. So making the cut above the 6-point marker. Connor, is that what you expected?
I'm not surprised by that. I think that this is one of those songs where people like, but it's not one of those ones that they instantly gravitate towards when they talk about like their Eurovision favorites for 2021. I think that those titles go to some of the songs that are on our top 10 of the scoreboard right now. So it doesn't shock me by any means. I think that she's definitely going to leave her mark as a vocalist in the 21 season. But I see that being pretty standard across the community and potentially the actual result for the contest.
Okay, so people are saying, Steven says, I think they will compete with Matahari, the song from Azerbaijan, and Eden will win. Do you think those two songs are kind of competing for the same voters? Does it sound right to you guys?
No, I don't think so. I think that Alene is its own song, Matahari is his own song, and I think they won't. I don't see the resemblance on them. Like, no, just no.
No, Millie's like, no. A resounding no here. Albano is saying the problem for Israel is that there are many more songs like Set Me Free in the same semifinal, but I think Israel will qualify. So people are saying, and then people are saying it is a tough semi. So I'll show you the ranking in just a moment to see where Israel end up. But we got a few more songs to discuss, and next up on my list, oh yes, it is Switzerland. And the Swiss broadcaster announced fairly quickly that John Steers would be kept as the act for Eurovision. A lot of fans were saddened that he wouldn't get to perform his Réponds-moi. Now he is doing his best to win over Europe with his new song called Tout l'univers. Switzerland is another original in the contest, joining in the 1956 contest, even though they have only 2 wins on the record. After such a long time, both are remarkable for different reasons. The first win was in 1956, therefore the first winner ever. And then again in 1988 with Celine Dion. You may have heard of her, no big deal. Fingers crossed for Switzerland, of course. They will take part in the second semi, second to last country to perform, position 16. Oh man, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of thoughts, but somebody got to go first. Melanie, floor.
Yay! No, but if people actually watching our panel expert video for like last year's, maybe you remember my reaction last year.
I do.
I just told the whole world that I loved Chantiers. So yeah, he won my heart last year, and this year he definitely won it back again. Because yes, last year he made me cry with Réponds-moi, but this year he actually gave me a song that I could put in my own playlist. His voice is still very mesmerizing, and just the way he just pours out these amazing notes, it's just so amazing. And now the soundscape that's giving us around his voice, it's just so great. It's just pure art. Like, can we just talk about how the song just goes? Like, it starts very minimalistic with little instruments, and then it's built slowly to that big explosion in the second chorus. Like, this song is just a masterpiece, and I can't wait to see this come alive on the Eurovision stage.
Okay, well, a thumbs down from Melanie. No, seriously, it's definitely a very interesting song. So, by the way, my score obviously solely based on the song, right? So when I say that it's not relevant, but I'm saying it anyway. But I do like this year's song a lot more than Réponds-moi. And Réponds-moi, not a bad song. I enjoyed it. But I had issues because it was maybe too depressing, too heavy, and it made me uncomfortable. And I know that was probably the emotion that they intended to actually exuberate the song, but it didn't work for me as much. I still liked it. I just was not quite as crazy about it. But on this one here, a different story. John's, first of all, brings his own interesting somewhat unique style, right? Like, it's John's Tears. He's a very specific sound, and I think that works well. It's authentic, and I appreciate that. It's a tough song to deliver live, so I'm always nervous about that. He needs to connect with the camera. He needs to have a perfect vocal performance, because certain songs, like the booty shaky songs, you can't forgive a sore note here and there. But with this one, it's like if any kind of sour note is a little like, so it's tough. But I think he can do it. If he delivers live, this can go far with the juries, and his voice is just so good. So I really like the song. It is, to me, just dreamy, so dreamy, and I gravitate towards it. And I'm so happy because it's every once in a while you get like this. When Switzerland was so popular, I'm like, I don't quite get it as much. This year, I kind of get it. So it's significant improvement in my book. So yeah, thumbs up from me for Switzerland, and I can't wait to see the scores. But first, we got to talk to Tyler. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Tout de l'univers is a very good song technically. I think the instrumentation is very sweeping. I think the music video is like pretty artistic, and I think Jong can really give a really good performance in Rotterdam and really be able to sell it. I think he can be able to do that. And I'm really glad it's really captured a lot of like the fan base, like the imagination, like and I've seen a lot of speculation just of like this could be like the French song that makes it to the top of the podium. To me it doesn't connect with me quite like that emotionally. I still think it's better than last year's song, in a lot of different ways. And to me, while I think it's like a very good technical song, I think he sounds fantastic. To me, it doesn't really mean anything like personal to me. I already noticed like someone in the comments was talking about how like, can't like they're just like waiting for us like to call it overrated. But I don't know. I feel like that's only coming from me. That I think it might be a tad overrated. But that's just my own personal opinion. Overall, I still think the song it's a good song. It's just not a very emotional, personal song to me. But I can appreciate why other people like really enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, Connor.
Yeah, so specifically addressing the comments around overrated ballads, I personally do not think that this is the song to win. I think it is one of the songs to win. And that's something that I really wanted to express here on the panel, is that this is a really stacked year in terms of potential winners, versus last year, where it really was really a competition between him and Dottie Frere on who would potentially run home with this trophy. And technically the Roop, I think, we're in there as well. What I do love about this song, Melanie had kind of mentioned this, is that there is such a growth to this song. And that's what I personally love about a Eurovision song. Because when we're thinking about these songs, they're not just static studios. They go onto the Eurovision stage, you perform them, and you not only want to tell a story, you also want to keep your audience, you want to keep their attention. And so what I see the potential for in this song is pulling out something like Russia 2016, where they not only invite you to the stage and to the story, they immerse you in that story on the stage. I see the opportunity to bring in the pictures and the universal or the galaxies from the LED walls.
Right.
There's just so much that they can do with this song. And I think it was just so smart in comparison to the last year's song, where you're right, it was very emotional, it was very dark. And so there was less that they could have done with that. So I think that this is super smart. I know that he can pull this off. I have no worries about this. I'm really just kind of waiting to see what this does staging wise, because I think that is going to be the thing that makes or breaks if this can or can't win the 2021 contest.
Wow. Okay, so that is a very detailed analysis, so I appreciate that. Now, all I care about, though, is the score. Now, let's go from one by one and see what we gave Switzerland and where it'll end up in our ranking. Melanie, you up first. What's your score? I have a hunch.
What shall I give it? Maybe 1? Maybe 5?
Maybe
Nah.
3.5.
It's my winner this year again. Gjon, with 10 points this year. Still, again, goes to you.
Okay, well, I'm not too surprised here. It's not a 10 for me, but it's still a great score. And the reason why it's not a 10 is, I will say, and Tyler raised a good point there, is that technicality of the song is so good. I may not be like as emotionally attached to the song as some of the people are, but I just enjoy what's on. The dreaminess of it is really what gets me. So when I first listened to it, it was a 7.5. Then the second, I'm like, no, this got to be an 8. And now in the very end, and as I locked it in, I gave it an 8.5. So 8.5 for me for Switzerland. Tyler.
Yeah, just sort of echoing my comments from earlier. I think it's a very technical song. I just, again, I don't feel that emotional like connection. Like in my eyes, it doesn't resonate with me nearly as much as it does like with a lot of people, and that's fine. So for my personal ranking, for my personal taste, I gave it a 7.5.
Oh, I thought it was going to be way. That's still a great score.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's still
countries would dream of that. Yeah. Connor.
Yeah, so this song just misses out on my perfect score, and there's a couple of reasons why. It was mainly just that I am more emotionally attached to the songs that I gave a perfect 10 to than I am to this one, but it is a super close contest. I did give it a 9.5. For this song in particular, as I mentioned earlier, there is a pathway to victory for this song. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my personal winner for this year. But I see this for certain coming top 10 for the contest, unless they manage to just butcher everything. It is, I think, yeah, it's happened before. We're looking at Switzerland 2016. But I just think that there's no way that they can mess it up so bad that it's not a top 10 finish for them.
All right. I love how you had to be like almost try to like apologize for not giving it 10, but 0.5 less. How dare you, Connor?
I know.
No, seriously. So this is, with us so far so good. But did Team United is on the same page, or ballots often are not quite as appreciated by your team, it seems. But I'll give you the score for Switzerland, and Team United gives them. Let's do a commercial break first. No, let's do it. It's 8.09. It did break the 8-point mark. So
is it, in which place is it now?
I'll tell you in a second, but just based on the actual score, any thoughts? You okay? It should be higher?
I expected it. No, it's higher than I expected it, because I know there are people in our team that really hates this song. Or not really hates this song, but thinks it's more mediocre. So I'm kind of surprised that it still hits the 8.
Okay,
level. So
that is okay. So let me bring up this thing. Here it is, the current scoreboard. It's in 4th place, Switzerland. Malta still number 1, France number 2, San Marino 3rd, Switzerland 4th, but it's beating Lithuania. I got to go back to you again, Melanie, because you are definitely all Team Switzerland. Is that okay?
I'm kind of surprised that it's below San Marino. Like, really? No, yeah, I didn't expect that. San Marino will be higher than Switzerland. So that's a really big surprise for me, because I always see Malta and France and Switzerland as a kind of triforce that is always on the top. So that San Marino breaks the triforce is kind of surprising for me. It was expecting, but I expected it higher than San Marino.
Yeah, just to give some context here, people in the chat, by the way, at ESC United, if you have any thoughts or comments that you want us to share. It is the reason probably it has more detractors than some of the other songs. And I pointed out before, our team tends to really go for upbeat songs. I was surprised that France was this high up in the first place. That was like the exception. So this one has a few more like midfield, like scores actually. And that I think didn't quite help with that. But yeah, so Israel currently in 26th place, Serbia in 28th place. Tyler, any other thoughts on the current rankings of the 3 songs?
I I'm sort of surprised that Switzerland is just below San Marino, but I mean, I did give Switzerland a lower score and San Marino like 9-ish, I think. So, oops, I'm sorry.
Technically your fault, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and
So-
I would like to point out that the comment section, someone in the comments says that you, Tyler, are punished and you must listen to the Belarusian entry for 24 hours because of the score that you gave.
Oh.
So
Great punishment.
if
For
if
24
anyone-
hours, that's great.
if anyone is curious on why Switzerland is now below San Marino, it actually is just Tyler's fault. So don't add us.
Yeah, let's blame everything on Tyler. No, somebody. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
Yeah. So let's see some other comments. Steven says, Israel right below Denmark. Really? I know. Denmark should be higher.
Yeah.
Right? I like Hungary. Now, so I get it. It's percentage. But hey, again, this is just Team United. We cannot all agree on everything. So let's move on because we got a few more songs to cover. And the next up on my list is... Which one is next on my list? Somebody tell me.
It's Embers, or not?
Oh yeah, Embers, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I was like, I almost jumped to Austria, but first
Oh.
we got United Kingdom. Yes, Embers, as Melanie kindly pointed out. So, United Kingdom, I think we have a lot to say, but not much time when it comes to our description here. But many returning acts, as pointed out, James Newman, one of them. While the BBC didn't give us any idea for the longest time, they eventually told us that 2020 representative James Newman would return in 21 as well to get his fair shot. So after My Last Breath was no longer eligible to enter the contest, the singer went back to the drawing board, and now we get to listen to Embers. The country has been around for a long time, joining the contest in 1957. While their track record has been less than impressive, I think, as of late, they are still quite successful if you look at their entire run. 5 victories. That's something they can brag about. The first one in 1967, most recent one in 97 with Love Shine a Light. They also have the most second places ever, 15 to be exact. The UK, by the way, another big 5 member, so they don't have to worry about all this, qualification from the semi-state, whatever. They are pre-qualified. Good for them, I suppose, but this can also backfire on them. Let's talk about the song and see what we think. Connor, you're up.
This song gives me a lot of anxiety. And I think the reason why is because, like, in the studio, I really want to enjoy it because I think that this is probably the most radio-friendly entry that the UK has sent. I mean, I was talking about it with my podcast partner. Like, this song is actually trending and getting airtime in the UK, which is a big comparison to 2020 when on the actual air, they were, like, roasting him for sending the song that he sent last year. I have concerns about it because he is not the most flawless vocal performer. He had some trouble with his song last year, so a upbeat pop banger gives me a lot of pause. He also, I was doing like my impression of like his dance moves. He's a very like dad at the birthday party, wiggle your arms dancer. So I really hope that they're able to kind of cover some of those things up. But I think that this is definitely one of the better songs that the UK has sent in the past couple of years. It's modern, it's radio friendly, it has chart potential. It's really going to come down to how the votes come in, and this is one that I'm really worried about for a live performance.
Okay, interesting. Melanie.
Yeah, I can echo almost the same thing what Connor just said. Like, no, the fun story is every time I listen to Eurovision 2021 playlist, I always think when Embers comes up, like, oh, the playlist is over. We finally get a song what's actually on the radio at the moment. And it's just a song that you will hear now actually on the charts instead of it's a song that will be actually competing at Eurovision. The song just gives me some positive summer vibes with the trumpets in it. And the only problem I have with the song is James Newman himself, because I just know with Israel, for example, Eden Alene gets a middle of the road song, but she will deliver it live. Serbia also can deliver it live, but with James Newman, I just don't know if he can bring the party vibes alive on stage. He really looked uncomfortable doing the music video with all the dance moves that Connor just said. And I'm just scared that he feels very uncomfortable doing this song on the stage. So I just hope that he will doing his own stuff on stage and have fun. But nevertheless, it's a great entry from the UK, and I hope that this also will be a turning point from them with bringing this kind of songs on a Eurovision stage.
All right. Tyler, need some water.
It's that last score. It's really hitting you.
Yeah, it is.
No, go ahead. Yeah, this entry has sort of been the most excited I've been for a UK entry since since I started watching live in like 2015. Like I'm excited to see like what this will look like on stage. Like I'm pretty sure like we'll sort of see what Connor said before of like James Newman's like dad dancing. But I think it's also like what Melanie said. It's a pretty like radio friendly like sort of song, and like I think it has potential to not put the UK in last place, which given like 2019 is already an improvement. So I think I'm actually pretty like excited about the song. I wouldn't necessarily like seek it out all the time to be able to listen to it, but I think it's a pretty good song. Not fantastic by any means, but I do think it would be a lot of fun to watch and be able to see on the stage of Rotterdam.
Interesting. So I will actually agree with what Melanie and Connor said, but let me just say this first. When I listened to the song for the first time, I did a reaction video, and I thought, finally a great song from the UK. People will love this. Yay! And then I listened, like, people are not really that excited about it. It is one of those songs I'm like, maybe it's because I love Britpop. Maybe that's what it is, which is a little bit more. I love it. I absolutely love the UK song. When it comes on, there's no standing still for me. There's something about the beat, the music, the brass. I love brass. Give me some, be cheap about it, but it works for me. I remember, like, was it yesterday, the day before, I was actually taking out my trash. I went in the other room. We have like a chute outside, and it came on. I was spinning like he does, like the dad dance, but with trash bags, because the song cannot make me stop. It's just like one of those songs I'm legally required to actually move around. And I just love it. I don't like the ending. That's the only thing, because it has, to me, a lot of energy, and it's a very anticlimactic ending. It's like they just decided, okay, we're done. We're out of time. So I wish they would have fixed that. But to me, I will agree that I'm a little bit worried about James as a performer, but the song, I judge the song, not the potential outcome of it. So I don't take that into consideration when it comes to my score, but I hear your concerns about that as well. To me, it's the best UK entry, at least since 2009, when Jade really wowed me as well. I'm absolutely Team UK this year, and it feels so good, because UK people, I always say it, they love Eurovision, even though they deny it. Not the people here, maybe, but you know what I mean? Like the general public, it's always shame-based. If you watch it like with your door locked at home, blinds closed, no one will know, but they still love it, even after 20 years of bad results. And I want them to do well, and hopefully they can do well. So that are my thoughts, and I'm going a little fast. I know I talk really fast because I'm trying to make sure we stay on time. United Kingdom, points, let's give them out. Who was first? Connor, right?
Me.
Yes.
So barring everything that I just said, I do not see this being a top 10 song or a left scoreboard song for the UK. I do think it's not a last placer, so there is at least that we are talking about this year. I did give it a 7.5. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be on the higher end of things, but it's catchy. It's got good energy. I'm like Matt said, I'm judging it based off the song, not off the awkward performance, because they can fix that. They can cover that up live. It does have a lot of potential and pull. I think that this is going to be one of those songs from the Eurovision album that gets more playtime outside of Eurovision than it actually does at the Eurovision contest stage. But we'll see.
Did you give your score?
Yeah, 7.5.
You're right. Yeah. Sorry, I was paying close attention to what you were saying, and then I lost my train of thought there. Melanie.
So
that's me sadly saying you talk too much. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead,
the same points. Well, as I said, I like the song. It makes me smile. It's giving me positive summer vibes with the trumpets, everything. I just hope that James will be himself and enjoy his performance on the Eurovision stage. But for now, it's a 7 for me.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, this is sort of been the most excited I've been for UK entry, and probably my favorite since gosh, 2013 with Bonnie Tyler, I think, and that might be pushing it. Okay, I saw Connor's face. Never mind. Yeah, I do think I think it's a pretty decent song. I'm excited to see what it looks like. But given how much I sort of liked a lot of other songs more, I think if I was to vote, this might be like at least like my like 11th favorite or like lower. So in that regard, I guess I gave it like a 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. Well, I'm in the minority apparently in the Eurovision world, but I love this song, and besides some minor flaws, I just can't get enough of it. I want to give it a high score, so I did, or like a really high score, and I did 9.5 in your face.
Ooh.
So I just love the song.
Wow.
I just really, really love it. And I feel so good because we all are so critical of the UK. It feels good to be Team UK once again. Maybe I shouldn't get used to it, but I'm enjoying it while it lasts. But now let's take a look at the actual score from Team United and see where the UK ended up. The overall score for the United Kingdom, 7.19, which to me is really good. I expected, after seeing people's comments and stuff, I thought that it's going to flop big time. So the fact that it broke the 7-point mark, that is pretty darn good. Anyone else?
Seems like it broke the 7 because of your score, Matt.
Now we have more. As much as I would want to take the credit for it, I think there are a few more people. I'm looking at the score right now, and no one, not a single person, gave it less than 5. So it's like everyone likes the song to a certain extent, or there's no hate for the song.
No, I think that everyone.
Yeah.
I think that everyone is just happy that UK is finally sending a song and is taking Eurovision serious for a time. I think it's that, and I'm happy also. UK, good job.
So maybe there's hope. Maybe I'm right and you're all wrong. But no, I'm kidding. So let's move on, because I know we are running out of time. That party is approaching. So who is next? Now it is Austria's turn. So let's talk about it. And we all know it, but I'll tell you anyway. It's another returnee. What? I mean, that's just a good thing, right? Because I want them all back. Vincent Bueno's Alive was ready to wow the viewers last year, but after the contest was canceled, it was a no-go. ORF, they swiftly said that Vincent deserves a shot, and so the song Amen was internally chosen. And just like last year and many years prior to that, that's how they do it now internally in Austria. It works well. Austria's first participation was in 1957, by the way, with 52 appearances to date, 2 wins in 1966, and then again in 2014, Conchita's Rise Like a Phoenix. And Austria in the second semifinal, performing out of position number 5. Okay, let's talk Austria. And here's the thing about Austria, at least according to my view. Vincent is taking a risk for him because it is outside his comfort zone and the music that he usually chooses, and I'm thankful for it because usually his style isn't my style. He has a little bit of the Bruno Mars sound to it, but it's just not working for me a whole lot. So I'm glad he's trying something different. Now, Amen itself, to me, it takes maybe a little bit too long to kick into gear. But once the bridge comes in, I'm like, oh, nice. But you need to captivate my attention like from the beginning, and the song doesn't do that. There are certain things I really appreciate about the song. I appreciate that the low verses, the way, amen, I'm exaggerating. Please don't sing like that, Vincent. But then the grand chorus comes in, and I like the contrast. I really like that. It really gives like a little like wee moment. I think what's the problem is the final spark is missing. Sometimes you cannot even put into words. You don't really can define it, but there is the spark missing in the song that really makes me get excited, but I don't hate it. And I think there's a place for the song in the contest. I mean, there's a place for any song, but I do have a certain appreciation for it. But it doesn't make me go like, woo! So that is my elaborate and very articulate response. Tyler, what do you think?
Well, I guess from considering last year, I liked Vincent Bueno's little like Bruno Mars vibe that he was going for in that regard. So going into this, it's like, okay, this is a ballad. All right, I'm gonna give it a chance. What's some positive things I could say? I do like the fact that he did take a risk with this and he went with something a little bit outside his wheelhouse. I can appreciate that. I really don't like the lyrics to the song. It feels very much of like a guy whining about like a breakup, which is something I'm not. I don't personally connect with. I don't really
That's
care to do
Taylor
all that.
Swift's job, right? Go ahead.
It's very much just like I just find the song like annoying more than anything, just solely based on the content of the song, not necessarily his like vocals or anything like that, or Vincent Bueno like himself. Yeah, I the song never really like I never really liked the song as soon as it came out, and then after repeat listens, I'm just like, no, I still don't like it. So I'll just say I'm not gonna like it and just move on from there.
Yeah, that is fair. Melanie.
First of all, let me just say that I really like the fact that Vincent Bueno is giving us something completely different from last year. It's not Alive 2.0. It's just Amen on its own. When I first hear it, I felt that it's probably a song that's very personal for him. And that's also very important for me, that you really sing a song on the stage, that it's a personal story, not just something you just buy in a record store, like, oh, let me sing that song on the Eurovision stage. And I like how the song really showcased Vincent's voice and warmth in it. He has a really warm voice. However, the song didn't connect with me on an emotional level. It just got a little bit boring midway the song. And I appreciate it for what it is, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay. That is also fine. Connor, bring it home. What you got for us?
Yeah, so some people in the chat have been mentioning the actual like message of the song being about the death of his daughter, and I believe someone else in his family. And so it does, and it purposely has that very somber tone within the song, and I think that's really important. And I really appreciate that he is telling the story in like an autobiographical experience on the stage, because like Melanie had said, that's something that he can connect to and he can really convey that message. I just think it's the wrong year to be doing it. We have been going through quite a lot in this past year, and I think that type of a song could go two ways. People can really connect with it and want to give some votes to it because it tells a story of what they've gone through, or they could go the anti what I will call panini route, so that we don't get stricken, where they don't want to think about what's happened in the past year and they want to go for something more uplifting. So I appreciate what Melanie said. I like that it's a different take. It's definitely a better take for him. I just think that if this had come in 2022, it may be received better because the message is less tainted by current events.
Yes. Okay. There you go. So now it's time for the scores. Let's see how that will turn out. And I went first, right? Yeah. So I will say I really like Vincent as a person, so I'll give him 10% from that perspective. The song itself, though, to me, as I point out, is fine. And I think Connor has made a very good point about it's potentially the wrong year, and includes myself, because I tend to really gravitate towards the fun, upbeat songs this year, because it's been rough. But I still can acknowledge a decent song. I'll give it 6 points. It's not the greatest score, but it's not the worst one either. Melanie or Tyler, who went second? Tyler went second. Tyler, yeah.
Okay, so now after hearing that sort of story, I feel like my score is going to be pretty harsh, pretty harsh in retrospect. But yeah, I just adjust the song based on its own, like my own interpretation of the text and everything. So knowing what I know now, I would probably give it like a different score. But based on my personal feelings and my own like watching the music video, listening to the song itself, I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. All right. And you didn't feel bad because, if some acts prefer more the interpretive, poetic way, like Eamon does, it's not very clear what he sings about, like such a specific event. Unlike Iceland, who was like, we know that they've been together for 10 years because he literally says it in the song. And that's just the way. It's more of a narrative-driven song, while this one is more of a poetic one. And that is a fair thing to point out. But I hear what you're saying. I just wanted to give you an out here because I understand what you're saying.
No, thank you.
Melanie.
Yes, just as I said, I appreciate the song for what it is. I think it showcases his voice more, but it's just not my cup of tea. And that's why I give it a 5.
Okay. Connor.
It's not my cup of tea either. It's not something that I would necessarily listen to outside of the contest, but when looking at the full roster and listing of things, I appreciate it more than last year with Alive. I gave it a 6.5. It's middle of the pack for me. It has a better chance of qualification, but I think I'm being a little nice.
So anyone who else has
Just a
any
little.
thoughts about the song, make sure to add ESC United in the chat so that we can see it. And I will give the team score right now for Austria. And Austria is receiving 4.75. So I see, Connor, I got to go to you. His face. He was like, yeah, I saw that coming. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I saw that coming. I had a feeling that and of course I don't know the actual scores from everyone else, but I'm sure that I'm probably on the higher end of things. I think that I was being very generous with the song overall. I don't know if I would agree that it's that low, because that does put it kind of towards the lower side of our overall scoreboard. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those songs where people aren't really going to jive with it. You had mentioned maybe it's a little bit too poetic, a little bit too meaningful to him. But then when you bring it to the Eurovision stage and you can really convey that message on the LED wall and with the staging, perhaps that connection will come in and perhaps that qualification chance will improve.
Yeah. And I do see that a lot of people said something similar in the chat, just to summarize it, saying, it's just no one knew of his backstory and the song doesn't really say what it's about. So you cannot really, so that I think that's where the disconnect was. Again, I always bring up Iceland, who's like so clear about we've been together for 10 years. It gets better. I love you more each day. Like, okay, this is totally, I get what you're saying. And I like that aspect of it. Both styles are good, but, whatever works for you. But, you leave more room for interpretation and it doesn't always work. But 4.75 for Austria in our ranking. Let's move on. We got a few more songs. And next up on my list is, I think this country is fairly important this year. It's called the Netherlands.
Oh, that country.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Melanie, I wonder why. Let's talk this through. And I think we all know it by now. If not, where have you been? It's the host nation, and they're sticking with Jeangu Macrooy. The singer was internally selected last year, was given his fair shot again this year. It makes perfect sense. While he was unable to enter the contest with Grow, a new song was put forward and penned Birth of a New Age, one of the 7 originals taking part in the inaugural contest in 1956. The country won 5 times, starting in 1957, which is the second winner ever. The most recent win, not counting 2019, was in 1975, so they have been very patient a long time ago. But Duncan Lawrence, as pointed out, changed that when RK took home the trophy. He's the reason why we're all going to Rotterdam, not all of us, but oh gosh, I keep forgetting about it. I am going. Since they are a hosting nation, they don't have to fight their way through the semis. Direct qualification is guaranteed, and we also know that he will perform in position 23, the only direct finalist where we have that kind of information already at hand. So, the Netherlands. Tyler, I'm looking at you. Tell me, what do you think?
Well, if the Netherlands were to win this year and they were going to go to like Amsterdam, I wouldn't be mad at all about it. I really love this entry, like a lot. I feel like with this song, Jeangu really performed a song that he felt a very felt a great connection to. I feel like his like vision as an artist is really represented in this song a lot, and I really respect a lot about it. I love the incorporation of using a Surinamese Creole language into it to go back to his roots. I really loved it. I find it very powerful, and I just love this. I love this song. Like last year with Grow, that song really like grew on me and turned into one of my favorites of the year. And then with this one, I heard it and then was just like, okay, this is like this is up there with like everything else. I really love this song a
Okay.
lot.
I am regretting that I'm going after you, but I guess somebody got to bring it down to planet Earth. Listen, now seriously, I appreciate what he's doing, Jeangu, right? Yeah, as you pointed out, bringing in his roots and bringing a different style that we never get to, or hardly ever get to hear at Eurovision. It's just not working for me all the way. And bring up his roots in a song, kind of awesome. Even if it's not my go-to genre, and I can look at the song on its own merit and say, okay, I can appreciate the contribution without me going crazy over it. I probably would have liked it better that if the chorus wasn't so repetitive. And I understand the line that he says is a very powerful line, has a lot of meaning, but to me, I don't speak the language, therefore it's just the same thing over and over. So it just gets a little repetitive for me, and that is an issue I have with English speaking songs, or like English lines. So it's I'm having the same issue with that. So I find it doesn't vary enough for me to go super crazy over it. Props for not playing it safe. I cannot say it's my favorite song. I will say I do like the verses actually a lot better than the chorus, because there's a lot more going on for me. But it's not a bad song. It's just I'm not connecting with it quite as much as some of the maybe as Tyler is. So I think it really comes down to, do you get the song or you just don't? And I'm more kind of like, yeah, it's fine. I can appreciate the song without going crazy over it. I guess that's my point. Okay, so let's go with you, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm going to be a little bit more on the side of Tyler over here. This is in my top 10. Sorry about it. This is in my top 10. I absolutely love this song, and I appreciate that the Netherlands and the broadcaster were like, just do something that is true to you. Like, they didn't take this in a way that was like, well, we want to make a statement, or we want to do like this massive, like grandiose a song. We want you to do something that you are comfortable with, that tells your story, and that you are attached to. And that's what we have here with Birth of a New Age. I think that the Eurovision fandom is really snubbing this song. It's currently ranked 34th in the scoreboard, which it's like right above Poland, of all things, above Poland. So let's think about that for a second. But I think that there's also a lot of people out there who, with African and Creole-based languages, decide to not give it a chance, whereas they go over and they stan Serbia's LOCO when they don't speak Spanish. So that's my little take on this. I don't want to get too political or anything like that, but I think that this is a really important message for everything that's been happening in the past couple of months. This is probably one of my favorite songs of this entire season.
Huh. Very interesting. Melanie.
Yeah, as people don't know, I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm happy that we as a host country decided to take some risk. Like, as I just said, by Austria. I like it when someone just decides to sing a song that's right from its heart, instead of, let me look in my archive, which song I still have left, and let's go with that song to Eurovision. Like I said, Jeangu is an artist with a capital A. He really stands behind this message and the song that he sings. And I think it's a really important message also to hear on the Eurovision stage. And I also really love the art direction in the music video. It's just amazing. It's brilliant. It's stunning. However, there's always a however.
There's always a but.
I just have the feeling that the song doesn't bring the energy that I wanted it to bring. It's still a little bit, the rhythm is rebellion, and it just doesn't comes off at some kind of moment. Also, if you listen to the song, there's some piano line. Roy told me that after the release, and since then I only can hear the piano part. It's like bing, 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 bing. It's just in the background, and I only can hear that part when I listen to the song, and it annoys me. It's just distracting.
I know
of
what you're
the song
talking
as
about.
well.
Yeah.
You know it, right, Matt? It's just so
Yeah.
distracting. And what I'm also very afraid of is the live performance that they had at the field, but because that also didn't impress me a lot. So if they can capture the ambience of the music video and bring that on stage, I think it will be a moment, but they really have to do that. Otherwise, I think it won't end high. But I hope they will bring it like music video, and that I still can be a proud Dutchie.
All right. Well, let's move on. We got to go a little faster. I'm asking everyone to give like 10 to 15 seconds to share their thoughts, if that, and then go straight to the points. I don't want to make sure we're on time. What did we give the Netherlands individual scores first? Tyler.
Okay. I really love this song. The score won't come as a surprise. I feel like the contest is better for having this song with it. And I'm really glad that this is part of the Eurovision family. I give it a 10.
All right, that is a pretty high score there. As I pointed out, I can appreciate the song for what it is, even though I don't click with it. I will give it exactly half of it. I'll give it 5 points because I just like a whole lot of other songs a whole lot better. And it's unfortunate, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Connor.
So I am just off of Tyler here. I think that this is an undervalued and underserved song in the 2021 roster. It's a 9.5 for me. It's actually my 5th song in the whole lineup of things. I think that people are going to be slightly blown away when they watch this live. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got. That's plenty. Melanie.
Yeah, like I said, I really appreciate the message of the song and what he stands for as an artist. But there are such things that really annoys me in the song, like the piano thing. And that's why I give it a 7.
7, still better than what I did. All right, so let's see what Team United thinks about this song. Overall, we combining them all now, plop, 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 and Team United gives it 6.19. So Tyler, I saw your face. So you think our team got it a little wrong?
I feel like it's very too low, but I can at least appreciate there's different viewpoints for this. I vastly disagree. This should at least broken a 7 in my eyes, but can't please everyone, I guess.
Yeah. Connor, you surprised? Even though with the high score, but you thought that kind of would end up in the end?
I am not surprised. I think that songs that have African roots are often devalued and underappreciated in this contest. So it doesn't shock me, but I'm not 100% sure that that's indicative of the actual universal feeling towards this song.
All right. Well, let's take a look where all of these songs ended up so far, the last 3. You ready to take a look at the scoreboard? Here we go. UK in 15th place, the Netherlands in 26th, Austria, ouchie, last place, 36 currently, but maybe there's still hope. We got a couple more songs there. Melanie, what do you think? You're mute, Melanie, by the way.
Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Sorry. I'm kind of surprised that Austria is so low, like 4.75. Really? I expected maybe a little bit higher, not last place. UK, Netherlands, it's all predictable. Like I expected it will be like that. So
yeah, I thought the UK did better than I expected based on initial comments. So I'm kind of glad it actually is, basically in the first half of the ranking, which I wasn't sure what's going to happen. Tyler or Connor, any other thoughts before we move on?
I will say I think it's just very interesting how a lot of our ballads happen to be making up the bottom couple of slots here.
Yeah. Tyler, any other thoughts on your end?
I'm surprised at the UK being in 15th position so far. Um, I mean, I don't know if Austria deserves last. I'm not surprised though. Things could change with these next like 3 songs. We'll see.
We'll see. And yeah, I think the problem with Austria was that no one gave it a high score. I think the highest we got for Austria was 7. So, there was just not a whole lot of like woo support. But yeah, as I said, there are 3 more songs coming up. Let's talk them through real fast and then we'll go from there. So, next up on my precious list, it's Czech Republic. So, guess what? Another 2020 candidate that was invited back this year. Benny Cristo song, Kimama. A thing of the past, but Omaga, it's not. Now, that's a song for Rotterdam, an entry that was chosen internally, unlike last year, where he actually had some competition. Now, the country only joined the contest 14 years ago in 2007 after several failed attempts, withdrew between 2010 and 2014, qualified for the finals the first time in 2016, and the best result to date in 2018, Lie to Me. Oh, baby. Czech Republic is in the second semi and will be the 3rd song of the night. Czech Republic, what do we think? Tyler, tell me.
I really enjoy the Czech Republic song. I think I preferred K Mama more like last year compared to this one, but I still sort of feel like oh my god is a little bit of an earworm. I find myself just like hearing it over and over in my head. It's sort of frustrating in that sense. The music video, I don't know, could also like endear itself to people just with how much of a nostalgia rush it's doing, like with its pop culture references. Um, I, I would say that sort of similar to a sort of criticism I had with Vincent's Amen song. It's like it feels sort of a little bit like, oh, why did you break up with me? Like from Benny Cristo. But um, I mean, overall, I thought it was it's an upbeat song. I really appreciate I really appreciate the song a lot.
Okay, Melanie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually underrating this song. Like Benny is serving us this time a really funny pop banger that is in line with what I hear now on the mainstream charts. I think this also will be the most accessible song for the people who aren't in the Eurovision bubble. Like we always say, look at songs like it's the song for Eurovision, but there are a lot of people who only watch the 3 shows on television, and I think for those people, this will be the song that they will see as a song that will be actual in the mainstream charts. Benny is of course a really great performer. He's very experienced, and I think that he has confidence to rock that on stage. This song. The only problem I have is that I keep forgetting about it. Like I always listen to it, and then I am like, oh yeah, the song of Czech Republic. Which song is it also? Which song is it? And I keep forgetting about it, that it's Omaga from Benny Cristo. But I think when he will perform it on stage, it will be really amazing because Benny knows how to deliver it, I think. So nevertheless, it's a solid entry from Czech Republic.
Yeah, and I think you guys nailed it, Melanie in particular. There, Benny itself, he's like not necessarily the best vocalist singer in the world, but he makes up for it with a great stage presence and persona, charisma. So that I know he'll sell the song all the way. So this is again, we're judging the song, not just the staging, but I just wanted to point it out. I agree with that assessment. I think why I struggle with the song a little bit is the chorus. And I don't know how to explain it. It sounds like it's 2 tracks on top of each other. Like Benny is singing the song and then the saxophone sound is like playing a different tune. And it sounds kind of like confusing to me and it's disjointed and messy to me. So I was like, turn down the saxophone. I'm sure it works for others, but for me, it is very, very distracting. And so it's hard for me to get into it. It's fun though, and what I like, it's the playfulness, not just the video about making the make it homage to all these famous movie scenes and all of that stuff. It's just the song itself. It's lots of energy and it works really well in the year 2021. I guess it just comes down to personal taste, and there are other upbeat songs that jive better with me. That being said, I don't dislike the song. I just don't. It's really not on my radar. I'm kind of also with Melanie on that one. It is sometimes it's like, oh yeah, there's Czech Republic this year. It's a little bit more. I wouldn't even use the word forgettable, but it's just more like it's like under the radar a little bit for me. So that is probably my biggest concern. But it's not a bad song. Connor.
Yeah, and I'll point out here in the chat there's some debate about where Suriname is in South America. So I should clarify one quick thing about what I said about Netherlands. I should have said Black artists, not African artists.
Oh, you did say
but
African artists, you're right. Yeah, because that's South America.
I did
right?
say that we undervalue African music at Eurovision. This content or this comment also carries over into my feeling about Benny Cristo, though. This is another song that I think the Eurovision fandom, like Melanie said, is really undervaluing. Melanie, you're right on point. It's current, it's catchy, it's trendy, it's radio friendly. This is probably the most, yes, give yourself a pat on the back. This is probably the most, the strongest song that they've been able to send. I mean, granted, they didn't go through a national final process like they have in the past. And so they got to spend much more time streamlining this and putting production into it, putting a plan into it. We know that Benny Cristo can deliver this. He gave it on the full live band version. He performed K Mama at Vidbeer. He has the potential to be a star player. And so what I just want to say is don't count this song out for the final or for a potential top 10, because we know the Czech Republic's going to pull all the stops out to try and get this up there.
Okay, so let's talk about points once again. Let's go for them real fast because we're out of time. Tyler, what do you think? What is your score?
I would like Czech Republic in the top 10. For me though, like the song has grown on me in a way, so my score might seem a little bit lower than expected. I give it a 7.5. If I were to give it a new score now, it might be a little bit higher. But I enjoy the song a lot.
Okay, Melanie.
Yeah, as I said, I also enjoy the song a lot. It's very fun. It's very danceable. I love it, but I keep forgetting about it, and that's why I give it a 7.
Okay, everyone always says like Matt is always the nice guy. Well, not today, clearly. I'm like a little bit harsher with my scores because I only gave it a 6 for the same reason as Melanie, but I guess I was just more grumpy. I don't know. But yeah, 6 points for me for Czech Republic. Connor.
Well, I'm going to come in here with the shock value. I gave the Czech Republic a 9. Again, it's another one of those songs that I play all the freaking time. I absolutely love it. It's my go-to song in the morning when I want something to kind of pep me up. And again, I think that this is going to be one of those songs where people are going to be shocked that it does well at Eurovision and people want to vote for it.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't shock me. But maybe the team score will shock y'all. Let's find out. Czech Republic from Team United is receiving 6.84. So some nodding going on, Connor, as again the biggest point giver. Is that kind of what you thought? Were you hoping for more?
I was hoping for more. I was really hoping that this would crack the 7, at least the bare minimum, go a little higher. But it's not shocking to me because I think that I'm probably, again, on the higher side of the scoring. I think that this is slightly indicative of public opinion. But I think overall, this one is going to have a higher ranking quality with the juries anyway. So I don't know how much the public opinion is really going to impact it at the actual contest. But I was prepared for a little bit of a lower score, or I guess not lower, but a middle of the ground, middle of the road type score for this song.
Okay. Well, we'll see the full ranking in just a moment where Czech Republic ends up. For now, we got to move on to the next country on our list, and it is Germany. The only act on tonight's group, at least, that is not a 2020 returnee. Last year's act, Ben Dolic, he decided not to return, and an internal jury picked Jendrik Sigvart's song, I Don't Feel hate. So no national final for the second year in a row. Germany, one of the originals, joining the contest in 1956. So far, 2 victories in 1982 and in 2010 with Lena's Satellite. And another direct qualifier, thanks to their Big Five status, Germany can sit back, relax, watch the semis, no stress. Now, Germany maybe did have to stress out a little bit based on our scores and our thoughts. Well, let's find out. Melanie, you're up first. What are your thoughts on Germany?
Well, there's always one song every year at Eurovision that I know that I have to hate, but I actually really like. And this year it's Germany. You know, I remember that I first heard this song and I was like, meh, it's not working for me. But I was the next day at the office and I was like, I don't feel hate. I just feel sorry. And it just went in a loop in my head every time. And I'm like, no, I'm going to like the song. I'm just secretly humming on it the whole day. And that's you know what it is? It's the ultimate earworm of this year's. You know, once it's in your brain, it doesn't get out of your head. It's so contagious and makes me smile every time I hear it. And it's just like Jendrik, he's a really amazing person. Not amazing. He's just very charismatic, and I have the feeling that he just made himself as a song. Like, this is me. I'm not going to write a song about myself, and it's just his whole personality in just one song. And he brings some message that he means in a very sincere way. Like I just said, by Austria and by the Netherlands, it's just not a song that he just bought at a record label. It's just a song that he writes itself, produces itself, and he believes in it. And he wants to play this at the biggest stage of the world. Now, I don't know if it's the world, but it's on the Eurovision stage. And you feel that. He's very enthusiastic about it. He wants to do it. And I hopefully he will bring that same energy alive. But I'm happy to see that Germany is taking a risk, and I hope that the song really will end up high.
Okay, so off to a good start. Connor, you're up. What do you think?
So,
God,
I don't know how I feel about this song. Like, I don't dislike it. I'm not in love with it, but it does have the same qualities that Melanie had mentioned of like, it does get stuck in my head. It is catchy. I do know most of the lyrics to it. We do know that he has the potential to pull that energy off live. He did that live performance in the Schlager Champion show, and not 100% sure if that was actually live, but it did happen, and he did have that charisma there. We did get to see the transition of the foam middle finger to the peace sign, so that happened there. I think that this one is one of those ones that is mostly there for pure entertainment. I don't know if Germany was like, yep, that is the song. That is our top 10 qualifier. You know, that is going to get us to the left side of the scoreboard. I think Germany was like, I think that we want something that's going to be uplifting, that's going to be fun, that's going to pull us out of kind of the emotions of the past year. And this song definitely does that. Okay. Is it not going to be a bottom 5? I don't know, but yeah,
that's okay. First of all, thank you, Ryan Mapper, for the super chat. You really help us finance Eurovision, which is never cheap. So all contributions are deeply appreciated. Who's next? Tyler.
I'll sort of echo what Melanie and Connor have said. The song is it gets stuck in your head very easily. Will that mean that people will remember it and then give it points? I'm not sure about. It's very much a wild card, at least in my mind, where it could place on the scoreboard. I think Jendrik is a charismatic person, and they had to go through a lot of hoops in order to be able to be selected and have this be the song. So that's a really big accomplishment. That being said, I really don't like this song at all. I find it very childish in some ways, and that's not to say that like the message of the song isn't like a bad one per se. It's if the song could be like have a really good message behind it. If I find it annoying, that's that's just how I'm gonna feel about it. And like this is a song that I find myself skipping a lot, whenever it comes up, or else it'll be stuck in my head for like days. So that could be a good quality it has. It just it's not very good to me, unfortunately.
That is fine. Let's talk about the scores. What did we give the German score? And then wait, I haven't said anything yet, have I? I
No,
forgot
you
about
haven't.
myself. Okay, maybe I just didn't want to talk about it. Now, listen. Here's the thing. I remember doing my reaction video, and it was one of the most genuine laughs that I've had, and that's a rare thing to happen at Eurovision. Me watching a video and I'm laughing out loud. The song is just such a hot mess, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I know it's a very risky choice, and it's loathed for the most part by the Eurovision bubble. It seems like it, but I just know that there is a market for that out there. It is standing out, and yes, is it risky? It's a wild card. I think Tyler nailed it. It is a wild card, but I'm a little bit more confident in its ability or to actually gather votes, because there is. When I talked to my family and I played the song here to non-Eurovision fans in America, and with one exception, everyone liked it. Everyone's like, oh, this is fun. This is enjoyable. There is something about it that a lot of people gravitate towards, and myself included. I would have fixed a few things, but I just enjoy this carefree and fun moment. And I know a lot of people don't like it, and that is fine. But I happen to enjoy it very much. And I agree with Melanie. It is just flippin' contagious. It's just like, it just won't leave my brain. And it's not always a good thing. I understand it, because there are a lot of songs that I hate and they just replay in your head over and over. But in this case, it gives me just the happy feels, and I keep repeating myself. I am yearning. I just want to soak in happy, optimistic, fun music this year. It's just the climate that we're in, and Germany absolutely delivers. Take a chance, and I know a lot of people don't like it. I am definitely very supportive of Germany this year, just for I'm gonna say it, the balls that they have. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. So I really, really, really enjoy it, and I'm glad that Germany's taking a risk, regardless of the backlash. So now we get to move on to our points. Melanie, you're going first. What's your score?
Yeah, like you guys said, I understand why people are hating on this song. But I really like it, guys. I'm sorry, I give it a 9. Don't hate on me on it.
Why? No.
But I don't feel hate. I just feel
I
sorry.
don't feel hate either. Connor.
I love how we keep bringing the song chorus in. For me, it's a solid 6. It's really going to be one of those songs where I have to watch it live on the stage to see if it goes up or down. It's a solid middle of the pack for me. But you're right, it is fun and uplifting, and that's something that we need this year at the Eurovision contest.
All right. Thank you, Melanie, for your score. Yeah, actually, I thought I'm going to be the highest score, but I gave it 8.5.
Oh.
Now, in hindsight, I wanted to give it a 9 as well, but I cannot change my score now, because there are a few things I would have changed about the song, and I don't have time to go into all the details right now, but I love the song, and it deserves a lot more credit, and I don't know how the juries are going to do with it, but I can see this do quite well in the televote if it comes across right, and I just have a good feeling about it. It's just a hunch. So let's move on to the team score for Germany. Are there more people like Melanie and myself?
Tyler. No, Tyler, you have to ask Tyler what he thinks about it.
I'm like
I'm really curious about it.
I want to explain myself. I had my order mixed up. I looked at the wrong list, so that's why I forgot about my own comments. So now I forgot about Tyler. Go ahead. What's your score?
I was fine with not giving my score after what you said.
I know. I tried to give you an out, but clearly the other two called you out. So
it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. Thanks. Like I said before, I just based solely on the song itself, I really don't like the song itself. I can appreciate the fact that it is uplifting. It is sort of like what we need at this point. It is contagious from an earworm perspective. I still gave it. This happened to be the lowest score that I gave. I gave it a 3.
What? Okay, that is fine because there is a whole team that will give a score, and I'm ready to present that to you. Germany's score overall from Team United is the drums. Thank you, Melanie. It is 4.84.
No.
No, I know, Melanie. The two of us have been overruled by the Tylers of this world. Your thoughts?
No, I to be honest, I expected it. I was like, yeah, I probably will be the only one who's liking it. I'm really happy that you also like it, Matt. You're here. You also like it, Matt. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that. But I was like, nah, probably everybody will be hating on me that I like this. But I don't care. I love this song. I don't feel hate. I just feel sorry, guys. And in the end, we all have weird taste in our team. And that's why we are a great team. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to wave the middle finger at you either. Well, maybe I am, but you won't see it.
Please.
Please, no. Sorry. Now, here's the thing, and I understand Germany. I think arguably the most polarizing song this year, and this is not necessarily the best thing in a ranking, but that's my thoughts. You rather have you have 15 people hate it and 5 people love it than have 20 people okay with it, because you
Yeah.
need people to have you high at the top. And that is one of the issues when I pointed out Ireland before. Like, I really like Ireland, but I'm worried that's going to be like a third, fourth favorite for a lot of people, but not the number one. That may hurt it. I think Germany has a pretty good shot getting a decent amount of votes. I go down. It's been over 20 years, but Vada had to do that. Germany 2000. A lot of people hated it, and I hated that one as well. But it finished 5th with a televote. Something like this, I could absolutely see happening. So not all hope is lost. All hope is lost, though, for Germany in our ranking, because 4.84, that ain't good. That ain't good. But I'll show you the final score in just a moment, because let's get the last one out of the way here, and that is Australia. Montaigne, she won the Australian national final last year with Don't Break Me, and the broadcaster decided to scrap the show this year, just give a singer a free passage to the contest. Song was internally chosen, and Montaigne is ready to make the land down under proud with her song Technicolour. Now, Australia is technically a guest at the contest, still the newest edition with a debut in 2015, already a silver medal in the pocket when Donnie M finished in 2nd place, even winning the jury vote with The Sound of Silence. Australia taking part in the first semi, performing in 5th position. Unfortunately, due to the whole pandemic situation, Australia is unable to travel to Rotterdam. Therefore, they will not perform on the stage at Ahoy Rotterdam, but will be using the live to tape performance instead. So let's talk through this. Australia. Melanie, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm happy to see that Montaigne brings a song this year to Eurovision that sounds more like her. Like, don't get me wrong, Don't Break Me was great, but I have a feeling that she sounds more comfortable singing Technicolour than a song last year. Even if you take in consideration that this is a very hard song to actually sing. Like, you really need to have a great vocal control to do what she does in the studio version. Like, oh, yeah. Sorry, I won't do it again.
How does it go? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to. I didn't hear.
Melanie for all backing vocals at Eurovision.
Yeah. You still need backing vocals, backing dancers. You can call me. But I was convinced, sadly, by the live version that she did in this big stadium. She feels kind of, I don't know. But I really hope that she will deliver it on her live on tape. Because I just hope that she can deliver it on live on tape. So I was kind of disturbed. Also, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I still have the feeling that it sounds like a demo version. Like, it misses something in it.
I was going to say that.
Oh, sorry,
No.
Matt. Yes.
Yeah, we need to talk later, okay, after this.
Okay, I know I'm fired. Sorry. No, I won't be at the Ahoy, guys.
No, this was her last video, just FYI. No, go ahead, sorry.
But it just still sounds like a demo version. It just feels very unfinished. However, I really love the quickness in it, and it's very unique if you compare it with the other current songs in the lineup. So I hope that she can nail it live in the live on tape. They already know it, of course, but I hope to see that it really comes alive then.
Yeah. All right, we shall see. I mean, she already technically has recorded the video, so
Yeah.
we just haven't had the privilege of listening to it yet. Tyler, tell us, what do you think?
With Montaigne, any like sort of song. Well, I wouldn't say I hated "Don't Break Me." I feel like Montaigne could have had a better song. And then when I listened to Technicolour for the first time, I was like, okay, I can be down for this. This was giving me sort of like early Marina and the Diamonds like vibes, like with
You're fired too. This was also your last video, by the way, just for the record. So, Connor, you'd better not mess it up. No
I'm still
pressure.
here.
No, I just like it's I find it to be camp, but in like an intentional way, like this time. And I don't know, like the performance itself from the music video wasn't like the greatest, but I still very much like enjoy the song. And I find myself like every time I listen to it, I'm just like, okay, I like this like a little bit better. I don't know, I really enjoy the song a lot.
All right, Connor. Let's see
No
if you'll have a
pressure
job
for what
after
I'm
this.
about to say.
No, it's fine.
Well, I think so. I'm very on the fence about this one because I appreciate the track for Technicolour a little bit more than I did "Don't Break Me," but I liked the lyrics and the story of "Don't Break Me" more than I do about Technicolour. And I think that that's just because lyrically this is a little bit inaccessible, but musically this is a little bit more slightly mainstream than I would say "Don't Break Me." I'm really interested, especially since they've already recorded the live on tape. So again, they know what they're planning on doing with the live staging, or rather the on tape staging. They must really, really believe in that on tape performance if they're not even going to try to make it there to Eurovision. So it has me curious on what they're going to try and do, especially since we got to see the theoretical staging for "Don't Break Me." I think that this is probably a more accurate description of a polarizing entry because it's more alternative and different compared to the songs that we receive for the traditional Eurovision roster. So everyone's going to say that this is going to be the one time Australia doesn't qualify. They said it last time, and Kate Miller-Heidke came top 10. So
Flying around on her
we'll
stick.
just see.
I know.
Yes.
So this was very interesting. First of all, I love how she thinks Montaigne she can fool us, saying, "Oh, I'm not singing 'Take Off Your Clothes.' It's cloaks." I'm like, yeah, right. Everyone thinks she says clothes. Am I right? The first time you heard it, did anyone really think she said cloaks? Don't lie to me. First of all, it's a very interesting conversation. I just kind of paid attention to the chat. That there's this big fight going on. "Don't Break Me" is better. Technicolour is better. It seems to be like a 50-50 split there. Well, I'm teaming up with, first of all, I felt terrible actually for not liking "Don't Break Me" last year. I was not on board with that song at all. It was too whiny. But I'm on board in 2021. So this is a significant improvement, according to my taste. It's a 90s feeling to a certain extent. And again, Tyler, I got a little bit of Marina of the Diamonds vibe, like early stage as well of that one. And again, actually, Melanie stole my thunder twice, so you're fired twice. But meaning that you're rehired, so you're back on the team.
Oh, yes!
But it's like that. It's just really a cool moment that I really, really like, and it sets itself apart, and it's just the best part of the song. I almost wish they would have done more playful stuff like that. And I actually also thought it sounded more of the track itself needed more of a punch. It is a little thin, and it sounded a little bit more like a demo, and I felt the exact same way, and it's probably the biggest drawback for me in the song. It's just, it doesn't feel like it was completely thought through, almost like last minute. It's time's up, we got to put it forward. And that is probably my biggest concern, but it's pleasant to my ears. And yes, time off to take your cloaks, everyone, because I'm Team Australia this year. I really like it. So not cloaks, close, whatever you want to take off. It's up to you. But not on camera, unless it's close. So let's go through the points. What did we give it? Melanie?
Well, if she can deliver it live, if she can hit her notes, if she can really bring it, and she will bring it more and give it more body during the live performance. I actually will like it. For now, I give it a 7.5.
7.5 from Melanie. Tyler.
Yeah, it's really gonna have to. This live on tape performance is really gonna make or break Australia this year to see if they. I still think there's a chance they might NQ this year, but that's for another time. I still very much enjoy the song. I gave it an 8.5.
Oh, I didn't expect that. That's good. No, I was like, based on the comments, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, here we go. Connor.
So I'm a little bit more realistic over here. I think, in my personal opinion, I gave it a 6.5. Again, it's another one of those songs that is pretty middle of the road, but it does get attention and conversation because it is so different compared to the other middle of the ground songs. So I think that if it is in danger of qualifying or non-qualifying, I think its polarizing nature and potentially her uniqueness could potentially be a asset to her rather than a deficit.
Okay. So I am, I think, mostly with Melanie on this one. I also gave it a 7.5. Again, not a perfect song. It has its flaws, but I also agree with Connor. This could be her asset. It could also be her detriment. So I don't know. It could either way. It's nothing like Germany, the song, but I get a little bit more of a wild card factor for here as well. And this year in particular, there are a lot of songs that I like that I don't think will do well, and vice versa. So my prediction will look very different from what I actually like. And Australia is a very interesting case. But for now, we're just focusing on our ranking, and these are our scores. Now it's time to share our scores. Not ours, I mean the team score. Australia, for the last time this year, the team score is... I want drums from everyone, because this is the last time. Tyler, join in. Thank you. It is 6.50. Connor, you're on the nose. You are on the nose.
What do I win? What do I win?
You win.
Love and admiration.
Like that. No, you can. No.
Oh.
No. Can I get a promotion?
You
get a bottle and a bottle of hint water. Pay me a hint for this free commercial. Which they're not.
This totally not sponsored video.
No. But seriously, Connor, kind of like you're okay with that, I would assume. I mean, it can be closer to what you want.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty okay with this. Like I said, this is the one where I think it, like you had even said, Matt, I think that this is a wild card because it really just comes down to what did they do for that on tape recording, and how did she sound? How were her vocals and things like that? They are the ones who they only got one shot. So in comparison to everyone else, all the other 38 artists, if they don't do well in the first semi, they can do it again in the grand final. Would be better. If she's bad on tape, that's the same tape that she's using for the final. So
yep.
It's just going to be one of those things we just got to wait and see.
I'm very curious because the rehearsal sketch that came out today, Australia's on there for rehearsals. I'm like, this is really odd. Are we going to watch the video like 18 times?
Yeah,
I think they just probably already put it forward and they just haven't updated the sketch yet. That would be my guess, but I thought it was just an interesting situation. Anyway, I digress. So now that we have all the songs, let's look at our final scoreboard. Here we go. Czech Republic, 19th place. Australia, 23rd. Germany in 37th place. Tied technically with Portugal, but there were more high scores for Germany. Thank you, Melanie. And this is where we end up. I'm going to ask you, Connor, what do you think of our ranking? Because actually, before I tell you, let's make it official. Malta has won the ESC United Jury, 8.38. Destiny, is she destined for something similar in Rotterdam? Only time will tell. Second place, silver medal for France, 8.31 according to our team, and San Marino in third place, 8.22, and then Switzerland, Lithuania in the top 5, and then Bulgaria, Ireland, Finland, Greece, and Italy also in the top 10. Sadly, Austria, Portugal, Germany, the bottom 3 of our ranking. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Connor. What are your thoughts?
I mean, with at least our top 10, I'm moderately happy. My third place song is actually 36th on the scoreboard with North Macedonia. So that one's a little bit of a trigger warning for me. But overall, these ratings don't surprise me too much. I think it's really important that we also put into context here that these are our opinions and our thoughts. So these do not always reflect or will not reflect the overall results of the Eurovision contest.
No, this is wrong. This is scientifically proven. This is the outcome. So you want to put a lot of money on this, mostly on my bank account. No, you're right.
I mean, I think the winner and the top three are pretty solid in there. Outside of the top three, I think that's where a lot of changeover is going to happen, especially between today of April 24th and May 22nd when the actual grand final happens.
All right. And I want to say, because I saw some comments in the chat, people like, well, some of the songs are sorry, they're not even going to qualify. This is not a prediction list. This is our personal taste. It can be our favorite song could come dead last in the semis. That's not the point of this. We're going to have a prediction video coming up very, very soon. So keep that in mind. Going back to Melanie, I'm going to bring up the scoreboard again. What are your thoughts? Let's bring it back up. Don't forget to unmute yourself, because I know it always mutes.
No. Personal taste, yeah, Germany. Why, guys? Really, 37?
I know.
Like, why? Like, I expected maybe more like in the middle than really bottom, last place, almost last place. Kind of surprised that Switzerland didn't make the top three. Still, also very sad about that. Let me check more stuff. Yeah, in general, top 10. Was expecting, like I said in the beginning, Ireland, very big surprise. I'm really curious how they will do it in the contest itself. But overall, yeah, it is kind of expecting what I was expecting from our team. I expected Malta to win, to be honest. Didn't expect San Marino so high. I expected more top 10, but that it will be kicking out Switzerland out of the top three place. But overall, it's what I expected from our team.
All right, let me bring it up one more time for Tyler.
All right. For me, like, I'm not that surprised to see Germany that low. Sorry, Melanie, but I do think that the song itself, as said before, is pretty polarizing. So I don't expect it to be like bottom of the scoreboard come grand final. Again, that's another video. I am sort of surprised to see San Marino in the top three, but given sort of the fan reaction behind it, the amount of people that are really behind the song, it's not too surprising, but it's still pleasant to see. I feel like the Netherlands is sort of being like slept on in a way. I'm happy Czech Republic broke the top 20. Let's see what else is there. No, this is a pretty solid ranking overall. I might drop some songs, switch some places out, but no, I think this is a good list.
Yeah, so bring it up one more time. I kind of agree with it. I am very happy about the top 9 in particular. Those are songs that I think are all worthy of a high score. So I cannot complain about the outcome overall. I disagree with some of the lower ranked songs. I don't think Austria deserves last place. I also think Germany deserves a little bit more. I agree that North Macedonia should be higher. So there are a few bottom 5, not necessarily what I would have put, but looking at what people like this year, I can see why this happened. The biggest surprises were to me UK being 15th place. I mean, I love it, but I didn't expect it to go that high. I thought Norway would be a little higher than 26th place. I thought Romania would be higher actually than 18th place. Not, it's just kind of midfield with it because it's fairly popular with the masses, but not here. So those are some of the biggest surprises to me, according to that list. And I would love to hear anyone in the chat to tell me where your biggest surprises, disappointments, happiness moments are at ESC United. If you have any other thoughts, I do. Also, I'm very pleasantly surprised that Ireland is that high. I didn't see that coming at all, and I like the song, but it seems as if it was a little bit more like an okay ranking with most song for most people. So the fact that it did actually end up pretty high gives me a little bit more hope that maybe this could do much better than we all think. But that is just maybe my wish thinking here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm always rooting for Ireland because they've been kind of like left behind a lot. Vals Vitold saying Serbia solo. What? Anyone else surprised it's complete in the end this low? Based on our scores, not so much.
No. I think there are better
No.
bops in this year's Eurovision lineup that really overshadow Serbia. So it was expecting me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a little higher actually. I mean, not even higher, just a higher score in general. I thought that this would happen. In case people are wondering, by the way, last year Lithuania won our ranking on Fire Discotheque. Still a great result, 5th place, but not quite as high as last year. Ali H is saying, I'm surprised Romania is that low and surprised Slovenia is as high as it is, but I'm glad because I love it. We don't have much time, so I'm gonna just 10 seconds. Connor, what do you think? Are you surprised about Slovenia doing this well?
I mean, I personally like it, so I'm not that mad about it. I do think it's one of those ones that is on the bubble though, so I'm a little shocked to see it so high on ours because I haven't seen a lot of love in the overall fandom for Anna Soklic and Amen.
Yeah. What surprises me the most, Ireland, I'm happy for Czech in the top 20, and Germany is very interesting to be that low after your votes. I know, Melanie and I, we tried. The two of us tried, but, they're all just like, shut up, the two of you. So who are your dark horse predictions? We're not going to say that right now because we're going to do a prediction video coming up shortly. Surprised that Switzerland didn't win and that it only finished in 4th place. I still think it might win in May. And I think that is a very popular opinion. So certainly not a controversial one. I think I haven't checked in a few days, but correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Malta, Switzerland, and France are still the betting odds favorites, right? Those 3?
Yeah,
I don't think
they
has
still
changed.
are.
Yeah,
No.
so those are still, so putting money down on any of them is certainly not a kind of situation. Will you guys do still a live stream during rehearsals? Real quick, yes, of course we are. Melanie and I, and also Boris, we will be actually in Rotterdam in the arena. We will be doing that live there from Ahoy, and we have plenty of other people as well who cannot be there in person to join us in the online press center as well in the live stream. So just like in previous years, not counting 2020, this is gonna be kind of a taste of normalcy when it comes to our Eurovision coverage. So that's what I gotta go. We gotta go. I know everyone wants to move on to what show. So I want to thank everyone. Tyler, Melanie, Connor for joining me tonight, and everyone else watching these 4 episodes of our G ranking. I will put a full video of this up as well of our ranking in the near future. So enjoy the show, everyone, and I will talk to you all later. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.